Hi everyone, welcome to Dubai International Airport. So we are parked at gate Alpha 9 of Terminal 1, and today we'll be flying to Vienna International Airport at Switchat, Vienna, Austria. Flight time will be roughly around 6 hours, and today it's almost ready over here in the cockpit. Like the ADUs are on, the emergency exit lights are all on, and the APU is on, the hydraulics are all on, and then the passenger signs, no smoking and seat belts, they are all on, and the fuel pumps are on, and so are the packs. Logo lights are on because it's almost dawn and it's about to be daylight, so the logo lights are on for some time now. Okay, and the parking brakes are on here, the TCAS is on, and to the CDUs, if we can see, the RTOs are, the auto brakes are in RTO. You've got fuel, 65 tons on board, payload is full, cargo doors are closed, only the passenger doors, only the L2 door is not closed. We'll close that once the jetway is disconnected. And regarding the ground connections, everything is disconnected, like the ground power unit and the ground air conditioning unit, air starter unit, everything is disconnected. Only the wheel chocks are set, that's it. And here when I go to the FMC, I have to go to the position initialization once again, and then type in the current airport, OMDB Oscar Mike Delta Bravo. OMDB is the ICAO code of Dubai, so I'll just shoot in as the reference airport, and then GPS position will just copy and paste inside the system. And once I try to go to the route request, I need to get a clearance from the ATC.
Clearance Emirates 007, Terminal 1 Gate Alpha 9. We have the numbers requesting clearance.
Emirates 007, cleared to Lima Oscar Whiskey via the RID Alpha 2 Foxtrot departure. Cement as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 350 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 129.05. Squawk 3341. QNH 995.
Clear to Lima Oscar Whiskey via the Romeo India Delta Alpha 2 Foxtrot departure. Done as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 350 within 10 minutes. Departure on 129.05. 3341. In the box QNH 995. Emirates 007.
Emirates 007. Read back correct. Contact ground control on 118.35.
Roger, going to 118.35. Emirates 007.
Okay, we have been cleared for the departure, and like the runway allotted is runway 30 right. So an initial climb altitude is 5,000 feet, and I'll just set the speed at around 225 knots initially, and then let's see, once I complete the CDU, everything will be fine. Okay, route request OMDB-LOWW. LOWW is the ICAO code of Vienna, so I'll request the route. So by the time the route is loaded, I'll check the oxygen. Okay, with across, good to go. Yield across, good to go. Okay, so oxygen is checked. I'll go to the load route. So runway allotted is runway 30, right? Okay, and the flight number for today is Emirates 007, that is EK 007. That's good. I'll activate and execute. I'll go to the performance initialization. I'll accept it. Going to the departures page. Runway 30 right is the runway for departure, and just going to the SID. The departure SID is a VDAT to Foxtrot departure. That's what we have been allotted by the ATC. So I'll execute that. Going to the legs page. As I see, we do not have much speed restriction. Yes, we do. Like 180, 190, 200. These are the speed restrictions we have initially for our climb out. Okay, so initially we need to check like 200 is okay, like for 180 a tolerance of 20 knots is okay, so we can just put in as 200 knots initially. Let's accept the wind data for takeoff. Okay, I'm going to the VNAV. I'll just set the transition altitude to 5000. Okay, and then going to the descent forecast. I'll just load the descent wind data once we descend into Austria, Vienna. Okay, so to the route page, takeoff. Today it will be a flaps 15 takeoff because we have restriction on speed. So V1 will be 157, VR will be 164, and V2 will be 172. That's great. So oxygen is already checked in this pre-flight checklist. Flight instruments, heading and altimeter. I'll just go back once again. I'll load this LNAV and VNAV. Otherwise flight directors are on. Runway heading is set and altitude is set to 5000. So flight instruments, heading and altimeter checked, parking brake set, fuel control switches on cutoff position. Pre-flight checklist complete. Flight dictators. Okay. Let's request the jetway to be disconnected. That's it. The jetway is getting disconnected, so we can close the doors, L2 doors. So we can go ahead and close the L2 door. And then arm it. Going back to the doors page, I'll just cross check that all the doors are closed and armed. Good. Back to the checklist. Flight deck doors closed. Passenger signs all on auto. MCP V1, V2 heading track altitude noted. Takeoff speeds V1, VR, V2 noted. CDU pre-flight is complete. Trims 5.5. Yeah, it's 5.5. Perfect. Trim set. Taxi and takeoff briefing is okay. We need to have a left turn facing pushback, and then we go on to runway 30 right as directed by the ATC. Beacon is not yet on. Before that, I'll just arrange what my pushback should look like. Chocks to be removed, and then going to the pushback page, it is going to be a left nose turn pushback and 90 degrees turn, about 150 feet. That's my favorite number. I always request but never get. Anyways, it's 250 feet. That's the minimum. I'll ask for the startup and pushback clearance.
Ground Emirates 007, requesting engine start and pushback.
Emirates 007, startup and pushback approved.
Startup and push approved. Emirates 007.
Okay, startup and pushback approved, so beacon is on. So I'll ask ground for the pushback.
And ground, cockpit.
Go ahead, Captain.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Roger that, ready for push. Power and air are clear, doors closed, we are ready for pushback. Please parking brake, please.
Okay, parking brake is off, cleared to push.
Brakes off, here we go.
That's it, pushback is started. Quite calm and quiet, it's very nice. So let's take the permission from ground to start the engines. Starting the right engine. Here I see the right engine is pulling up. Starting the left engine. Then we have a recall like fuel low center, that's okay because we have 65 tons of fuel on board. So 777 has a distribution of 60, 30 and 30 on the left and the right tank, and the rest is in the center tank. So since we have 65 today, it's 30 on the left, 30 on the right, only 5 tons on the center, that's why it's saying fuel low center.
Push is complete, set parking brake, please.
Alright, brakes are set and pressure's normal.
Okay, sir, tow bar is on, pin is out, watch the pin on the right.
Alright guys, thanks. You're cleared to disconnect. We will be watching for the pin and the release from guidance on the right side of the airplane, and we'll see you guys next time through.
Roger that, have a good flight.
Okay, so the APU to be put off, going to the before taxi checklist, anti-ice is on auto, no recalls. Just to confirm again, yes, no recalls. Flight controls to be checked. Ailerons, full left, neutral, full right, neutral, elevators, full up, neutral,
Ground, orbit 1011 is cleared off the runway.
Full
Request
down.
taxi to parking.
Orbit 1011, taxi via Papa 6, gate east 34.
By Papa 6 to gate east 34, orbit 1011.
neutral, rudders, full left, neutral, full right, neutral, perfect. Back to the checklist. Flight controls checked, ground equipments clear. Before taxi checklist update. So we'll ask ground for the taxi clearance. Okay, so it's already daylight, so I just switched off the wing and the logo lights. That's it. And put the taxi lights on. Parking brakes off. Throttles advanced.
Refer to the safety briefing card of the exit row information card located in the seatbelt pocket to ensure you meet the exit row criteria and understand the information. After carefully reviewing this card, if you believe you could be injured, do not wish to or cannot perform the functions listed, please notify a flight attendant. At this time, we also request that you store your electronic devices until we are above 10,000 feet. I will notify you when it is safe to bring these items out for use. If there's any question as to what device you can use on board today, please refer to the Welcome Aboard section of your My magazine. Thank you for your attention.
We have to cross runway 30 left, so that's why we have to put the landing lights on. Anytime we cross the runway, we have to put the landing lights on, strobe lights on. We can at the moment put the taxi light off.
World Travel 9004 is cleared off the runway. Request access parking.
World Travel 9004, taxi via Mike November, gate east 38.
Via Mike November to gate east 38. World Travel 9004.
That's the rule. Left is clear, right is clear.
Emirates 007, contact tower on 118.75.
That's it. We have runway 30 right ahead of us. Let's put the weather radar display on. So, and the takeoff clearance.
Tower Emirates 007, holding short of runway 30 right, ready for departure.
Emirates 007, line up runway 30 right.
Line up and wait, runway 30 right, Emirates 007.
Flaps 15. That's the before takeoff checklist complete. Flaps 15.
Approaching
Flight
30
attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
right. On runway 30
Emirates
right.
007, wind 340 at 8. Runway 30 right, clearance for takeoff, good line.
Clear for takeoff, runway 30 right, Emirates 007.
Okay, let's go. Geared for takeoff. %70 thrust. Engine stabilized at 70%. Choga. Maximum thrust. Check.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Positive climb.
Gear up. Departure Emirates 007, with you passing 700 for 5,000.
Emirates 007. Radar contact. Continue via ID Alpha code for departure. Plan to flight level 1
Vienna
That's
Romeo India Delta Alpha 2 Foxtrot departure, climb to flight level 170, Emirates 007.
well, that's Burj Khalifa again. Goodbye, Burj Khalifa. We'll see you again after some time, maybe. Okay, good one. Climbing to 170 as directed by the ATC. So let me check the speed restrictions as we go. Like at flight level 54 we have to be like 190, so 210 is okay, not bad. So let's see if we can bypass these. I'll just ask the ATC if we can bypass these points. If we can go directly to Ralmi.
Requesting direct Romeo Alpha Lima Mike India, Emirates 007.
Emirates 007. Clear direct to Romeo Alpha Lima Mike India. Turn left heading 285. Climb to flight level 170. Continue on the flight.
Clear direct Romeo Alpha Lima Mike India, intersection left turn heading 285, climb to flight level 170, continue via OMDB, Emirates 007.
Okay, fortunately we have been cleared to track a point which is quite far away from us, and thankfully we can put now to flaps 5, and speed can go up to 240 knots. Oh, that's the Palm Island, you can see. Fantastic. Fuel low center is okay because there are only about only 5 tons or something, not even 5 tons in the center tank. Flaps 1. Speed can go up to 248 knots or 249 knots, like it has to be well below 250. Before 10,000 feet the max speed, as I said, is 250 knots, so officially we are okay. So going to the fuel page, see it's very less, it's 0.1 here in the center tank, so that's why it was showing us low fuel sales. Now it's saying fuel pump center right and left pumps should be switched off because there is no fuel here, otherwise there will be air inside. Okay, flaps to 0, and speed can go to more than 250 knots as we are over 10,000 feet now, and the landing lights also off. After takeoff, checklist, landing gears and flaps both up. So this is our journey, the route plan. Let's see if I can get it further bypassed onto these points in IMDOT or something. Let's say I'll ask the ATC. What about Boxic? Okay.
Requesting direct travel Oscar X-ray India Kilo Emirates 007.
Emirates 007. Clear direct to Bravo Oscar X-ray India Kilo. Interception. Turn right heading 300. Climb to flight level 170. Continue on the flight.
Clear direct travel Oscar X-ray India Kilo. Intersection right turn heading 300. Climb to flight level 170. Continue via OMDB Emirates 007.
Fortunately, we have been cleared to track a point which is very far away from us, and that's a waypoint where we need to be at flight level 320, that is 32,000 feet. So that's great news for us. Let's see if I can further advance. The more the better, right?
Requesting direct Delta Echo Lima Mike India Emirates 007.
Emirates 007. Clear direct to Delta Echo Lima Mike India. Interception. Turn right heading 310. Climb to flight level 260. Continue on the flight.
Clear direct Delta Echo Lima Mike India. Intersection right turn heading 310. Climb to flight level 260. Continue via OMDB Emirates 007.
That's a great sight. The sky and the sea and very few clouds here and there. So this is the top of climb. So the initial climb altitude is 32,000 feet. That's a cruise altitude. So we are tracking that point. And after that we have got a step climb of 2,000 feet, and so that we go into flight level 340, that is 34,000 feet. That's after a while, not now.
Emirates 007. Contact radar on 124.85.
Going to 124.85 Emirates 007. Radar Emirates 007. With you passing flight level 160 to flight level 260.
UAE 007. Roger.
So we are climbing at a vertical speed of 1950 feet per minute. Let's see if I can increase that to 2500 feet per minute. The speed is okay, there is no concern with the speed. And we are not too heavily loaded also. So 777's 115,000 pounds of thrust engines are extremely powerful for these climbs. (19,300, 90,500 feet right now. So this is the band for alarm. This particular point is where we should get alarmed of the speed going very low. Otherwise, as long as it doesn't go to this level, it's absolutely fine. It's 282 knots, 281, 280, it's okay. And we're climbing also quite fast.
Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, Emirates 007.
So we'll ask for 320 because that's what is in our flight plan, 320, and then after maybe 750, that is 733 plus 17, that is 750 nautical miles, we take a step climb to 34,000 feet. So as of now we can request 32,000.
Request flight level 320, Emirates 007.
UAE 007. Climb to flight level 320.
Climb to flight level 320, Emirates 007.
I think we go back to the VNAV speed because we are going a bit less low on the speed. We are into the alarm where the computers will come and hit us saying that we are going too low on speed, so it's better we increase the speed. We give the control over to VNAV and let the computers decide how to speed up, decreasing the rate of climb. So now the altitude isn't increasing that much, but the speed is increasing because we are almost leveling off for the moment. Just to make sure that the speed increases, the altitude is not increasing much. We are almost leveling off, like only around 100 feet per minute or 200 feet per minute is the ascent rate right now, just to make sure that the speed increases. That's what is being taken care of by the flight computers. What we can do right now is we can plan our arrivals into Vienna. We have something from the ATC called the expected approach. So expected approach into Vienna is NATE1 Whiskey arrival, the star, into ILS runway 29. Approach transition is PES4 Mike. So let's tune in that. Going to the departures and arrivals page, going to the index, and here is the LOWW arrivals, that is Vienna arrivals, and we have been cleared for ILS runway 29. ILS stands for Instrument Landing System. This runway is equipped with Instrument Landing System. That's what most of the runways nowadays are. So ILS 29, star is NATE1 Whiskey. It's NATE1 Whiskey. This is the approach star, and approach transition is PES4 Mike. PES4 Mike. This is the approach transition. We'll execute that, and then into the legs page. See, there's a duplicated NATX on both the ends, so we'll just pull both the ends of the rope together and then tie it. It's as good as doing that. Yo, done. And let's go to the
UAE
So this is the north of the map. This is a map mode. So this is the north of the map, the west, east and the south. So this is where we are heading to. This is the top of descent, and after that I'm going to zoom in more. This is a point NetX, and at NetX we should be below 14,000 feet and above 6,000 feet. And then make an approach like this, zigzag, like a snake.
Emirates 007, contact center on 126.92.
Going to 126.92, Emirates 007.
We make an approach like a snake, zigzag approach into runway.
Emirates 007, Roger.
Look, this is the runway. This one.
Pacifica 8904, identified.
So we're going to land this way, at runway 29. Perfect. Back to the map mode. And we have got good tailwind also. Like if I see here, it's from 098, 099, and it's at 13 knots, 13. So it's about 2000 to our initial climb altitude. Now we can again do a bit of manual climb because the speed is already 320 knots. Look, the speed is decreasing, but we are climbing very high. I mean at a very high speed, vertical speed. So we can reduce this by 500 feet per minute, making it 2000 feet per minute ascent. So the rate of falling of the speed will be less. Look, it's decreasing but at a lower speed, at a lower rate. We're almost there, 32,000 feet, just about 150 feet away. I can get back to the VNAV now. Great, going 32,000 feet. That's the initial climb cruise altitude, and maybe we continue this for about 677, as I see over here, about 660 nautical miles, and then we do a further step climb at 340, right level 340, 34,000 feet. Okay, so when we are about to climb this step climb, I'll get back to you. Within this time you can simply enjoy and have a wonderful journey. Thank you very much. I'll get back to you when it will be time for us to go into the step climb. Thank you. That's it. We just crossed the point and we are now tracking S0. So the step climb has disappeared, but we need to ensure that we go to 34,000 feet. Yes, I've enabled actually auto step climb, that's why it's going to the stepped up climb automatically. Look, it's 32,500 already, so it's climbing at a vertical speed of 1100 feet per minute.
Emirates 007. Descend and maintain flight level 320.
Descend and maintain flight level 320, Emirates 007.
I'm sorry, I need to let the ATC know that we have our flight plan permits us to go to 34,000, so we'll ask the ATC if we are actually allowed to go to 34,000 feet.
Request flight level 340, Emirates 007.
Emirates 007. Climb to flight level 340.
That's it.
Flight level 340, Emirates 007.
So we're now allowed officially to climb to 34,000 feet. So no more step climbs after this. At this point, KET, Kilo Echo Tango, that's the last point at which the altitude is 34,000 feet, after which it's going to descend further. So once we are already at 34,000 feet now, we are leveling off almost. There you go, 34,000 feet. We already climbed the step. Now see you again at waypoint Kilo Echo Tango. Till then, have a nice flight and go back to sleep as you were. Okay, have a nice flight. Hi, welcome back. We are about to descend after some time, and we are only just about 6 nautical miles away from the waypoint Kilo Echo Tango, 5 nautical miles right now. So after this, we are going to take a left turn of like 2905 heading, and then we'll be tracking GYR Golf Yankee Romeo. For our top of descent, this one is our top of descent. So beyond this point, we are going to descend into Vienna. Turning to heading like 2905 or 2906. It's 297 6. That's going to be 5, I think. It's 2905. Yes, that's great. So I'll get back when there will be time for us to descend. That's it. Yes, just only 3 nautical miles away from top of descent. So we'll set the altitude for like 32,000 right now.
Center 3171 with you at flight level 290.
That's it. We're almost about to descend now. So we have Knox to descend to flight level 240.
3171. Maintain present altitude.
Present altitude 3171.
Some bit of scattered clouds, unevenly distributed. And nothing on the weather radar, so nothing to worry about. So as we have started our descent, let's go to the descent checklist. The descent checklist. Recalls. There's nothing on the recall, so
Emirates 007. Contact radar on 1. Maintain decimal 1.
no notes.
28 decimal 1, Emirates 007. Radar Emirates 007. With you passing flight level 300 to flight level 240.
Emirates 007. Identified.
Okay, so auto brakes to position 1. Okay, landing data, VREFs and minimums. I'll go to radio and then push in the knob here to make it, I'll make it 250 feet above the ground as our decision altitude. To 50 feet radio altitude. That's our decision altitude. So landing data, VREFs and minimums. V speeds we are going to check from here, like for flaps 30 degrees.
Emirates 007. Descend to flight level 150.
Descent to flight level 150, Emirates 007.
For flaps 30. The final approach speed can be like 153 knots, but you can actually, I mean, go down more, like 140. We'll manage at 140 is okay. It's not a problem. So the runway 29 that we have been allotted right now is 11,483 feet. That is equal to 3500 meters. So about 3.5 kilometers if you measure it in kilometers. That's a big long runway. It's enough for a 777. And I think this one is the longer version of the runway, the longer runway of the two runways they have, I think. Yeah, that could be. Approach briefing, yes, we are already aware of the approach, so not a problem. Going to the approach checklist, altimeters only to be ticked after some time. Okay, back to the legs page. At point GYR Golf Yankee Romeo, we should be at 17,145 feet. So that looks to be well on target because we are exactly on the descent path.
Emirates 007. Descend to flight level 150. Expect AT Echo 1 Whiskey Bravo. Expect ILS approach runway 29er. PES 4 Mike.
Descent to flight level 150, November Alpha Tango Echo 1 Whiskey ILS, approach runway 29er, transition, Alpha Echo Sierra North, Mike Emirates 007.
Okay, so NetX Visat WW966 WW95 966 and then a 956. At these points we are all have to be above 6,000 feet, and these 2 points as well we have to be over 6,000 feet, and these 2 points above 3,000 feet. Superb. Picturesque Europe.
Emirates 007. Descent to flight level 150. Contact Vienna. Approach on 119er decimal 8.
Descent to flight level 150, going to 119er decimal 8, Emirates 007. Approach Emirates 007 with you passing flight level 200 to flight level 150.
Expect ILS approach runway 29, transition TES for Mike.
November Alpha Tango Echo 1 Whiskey ILS, approach runway 29er, transition Papa Echo Sierra 4 Mike, Emirates 007.
So as expected, we have been given the same approach, Nate 1 Whiskey arrival with approach transition PES for Mike into runway ILS 29. Okay, so assuming 6,000 feet here to be the transition altitude, we'll just tune in that here. As a transition altitude into Vienna. Okay, that's it.
Emirates 007. Descent 10.28 1011.
Descent to 10,000 QNH 1011, Emirates 007.
QNH is 1011, so at this point of time we'll just keep it ready so that when we arrive at the transition altitude, we'll just push in and that is accepted. So as discussed with you previously, at point NatX, the flight level should be below 14,000 feet and above 6,000 feet. So it's in the VNAV mode, so the computers will take care of that, no problems. Need not interfere. And look at that. After NatX, here we go, we have the zigzag approach and then we go straight ahead. That's too clumsy. We go straight ahead and land because this is 290, this heading is 290. So runway is in this orientation. Say for example, if I go ahead and turn it 290, so this is the runway orientation. This is the one, yeah, 290. So from this point, it's the same orientation like this, at this very same angle. So at point NatX, look, we are below 14,000 feet and above 6,000 feet. Great clouds.
Emirates 007. Descent 10.28 1011.
Descent to 10,000 QNH 1011, Emirates 007.
Beautiful. This looks just super duper awesome.
Emirates 007. Descent 6,000 QNH 1011.
Descent to 6,000 QNH 1011, Emirates 007.
Drag required. Okay, we'll take care of that. it's either way leveling off, so it's going to decrease the speed. And since we are approaching 10,000 feet after some time from now, it's already preparing itself to get down below 250 knots.
Emirates 007. Descent to 6,000. QNH 1011.
Descent to 6,000 QNH 1011, Emirates 007.
So altimeters we already have a note of, so we can take it for the moment. Just a bit of speed brakes. To get the speed well within our control. Look, we are already into the initial phase of the zigzag turn. Look, the speed is decreasing because the computers are quite aware of the fact that below 10,000 feet the max speed is 250 knots. We can deploy flaps 1, so the speed is less than 270 knots. Let's track, it should be 240, so we'll keep it as a cushion of 10 knots and keep it to 230 knots. So it's below 245, so flaps 5. So within this zigzag turn, if you see, the speed should be 240 knots. So these are the points: WW966, WW954, WW953. It should be all like 240 knots and should be above 6,000.
Maintain present altitude 1982.
It's 10,600 and we are very well below the 250 knot mark. Immense envelope of cloud. Beautiful Vienna, covered by clouds. These places are so naturally beautiful. You just feel like coming here every time. It's just so magnificent to look at. Blue sky, white clouds like cotton. What more could you expect?
1982. Maintain present.
Maintain present altitude 1982.
There we go, we have just started the initial phase of the zigzag pattern approach. And there we have the runway over here. So after the zigzag, we go ahead and land at runway 29er. So below 10,000 feet we can put the landing lights on.
Speed 250, Emirates 007.
Let them ask me to put the speeds to 250, but that's a maximum speed. We are at 230 knots, so nothing to worry about. We are below the speed asked for by ATC, so it's absolutely fine. So now we can reduce the speed to 220 knots. And since the speed is 224 knots, we can put the flaps 15. It's a wonderful approach into Vienna amidst the clouds. It's just like you're bypassing them or maybe intruding the clouds through your way into the airport. Perfectly on the descent path as we are. Speed to 220 knots. Oh, look at this. It's getting like fumes. The clouds are getting like fumes as they collide against the aircraft. That's superb. That's it, the final turning approach that we have, the final turn that we have before approaching into the runway. So speed is now 217, so flaps can go to 20. Speed to 210, flaps at 20. A 90-degree turn from here.
Emirates 007, descent 3,100.
Descent to 3,100, Emirates 007.
Transition altitude. Speed to 190. We have been asked to descend to flight level 310, sorry, flight level 31. A bit more gentle on the descent, so that the speed doesn't get affected much. There we have the glide slope and the localizer already. So we can be more gentle on the descent rate, as we are about level of at 3100, because the requirement of this point is we have to be above 3000 feet. That's why ATC has allotted us to 3100 just to cater to this waypoint. Look at this lush green, wonderful, absolutely superb. So speed is at 190 knots, it's about 200 right now. Go back to 190. So after 5 nautical miles,
Emirates 007. Descent 3
Descent to 3000 clear, approach tower of the marker, 119er, decimal 4, Emirates 007.
okay, so we have been asked to intercept the localizer and the glide slope, so I'll just put the approach hold on. That's great. So now the aircraft will track the localizer, and this localizer and the glide slope will as if they will suck in the aircraft into the runway. So after this waypoint WW951, speed has to be below 170 knots, so I'll just prepare from now itself. I'll just make it like 160 at 10 knot cushion. Okay, its speed is around 177 knots. So landing gears down. Flaps to 30, final approach speed 140 knots, about to intercept the glide slope. So landing checklist. Speed brakes armed, landing gears down, flaps to 30, landing lights already on. I'll put the runway turn off lights on. Established on the runway. Nose down trim. To like 2.5, approaching 3, 2.5, that's perfect. Look at that, so green out there. look at the stream over there. A wonderful looking stream.
1000.
Checked. Autopilot disconnected. I have controls.
Approaching 29.
Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums.
Continue. Reverse thrust.
Going to 121.6.
Checked. 16 knots. Okay, landing lights off, runway turn off lights off, taxi lights on, strobe lights off, AP on. Terminal 1 gate Fox 33 is what we have been given. This is the Delta region, I think. Yep. That's the Foxtrot region. Okay, so we have to stop now. Okay, parking brakes on, taxi lights off. Engines off, flaps to 0, beacon off, wheel choke set, L2 door disarmed and opened, cargo doors opened. Just waiting for the jetway to be connected. Okay guys, the jetway is now connected, and hope you had a wonderful flight. And if you really like the approach, the entire journey, you can give me a good big thumbs up and like, comment, share, and if you really liked it, you can subscribe to my channel so that I can continue making more videos like this. Thank you, have a nice time, enjoy, goodbye.